KSL Outdoors with Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores and in part by Fish Tech Outfitters, Burt Brothers, Goal Zero, and Camp Chef.
Thanks for tuning in to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Well, Rob Friedel with Avery. The waterfowl season kicked off this morning, but before the big guns got shooting this morning, the young guns get their chance, right?
That's right, Adam. We've got 4 kids, including your daughter. We're here for the annual Avery Youth Waterfowl Blast. Going to take 4 kids out tomorrow, get them fed tonight, give them some free stuff, as you can see, and see if we can't shoot some ducks.
Get those bellies full here at Famous Dave's and get out and see if these boys can hit some birds, huh?
Yeah.
You better not let my daughter show you up.
Feast with brisket, and then I'll bring the pork out in just a minute, okay?
Famous Dave's Barbecue and Avery Outdoors.
What size are you?
Small.
Okay, here. Put that on.
Stepped up to make sure these kids were ready and outfitted for their first ever duck hunt.
Bellies are full.
Yep.
Gas tanks are full in the boats. We're ready to go.
Opening morning and the boat ramp is busy, as Browning Arms is also on hand, looking to make some memories.
We're filling in for those dads and whatnot that aren't able to be here today, and take these kids out and get them rocking and rolling. I can't think of a better thing to be doing.
What morning, too?
Oh, baby, you watch out. It's going to be a good one.
Anticipation is high for my daughter. It's not only her first duck hunt, but her first airboat ride, too.
Jeez, on Friday, how are you going to set decoys in the boat?
Better get your butt going. Just because you're a lady doesn't mean nothing today.
While the kids set up the decoys,
Perfect.
the dads built the hive.
This is the new Real Grass EST. It's called for early season teal.
And then the rain. And the hell came. The kids were getting the whole experience.
What are you looking at this duck hunt now?
It's painful.
It's painful.
Finally, the spread is set, the airboat stowed, and the ducks are landing in the deeks. Wow. The hunt is on.
First things first, what's the number 1 rule? We're going to be what? Muzzle control and safe, okay? Your zone of fire, you guys got about this much on either side, so we're not shooting each other, so we're not shooting over each other. We got Josh is back here with the dog. If the dog's in the decoys, we're not shooting, all right?
Shell in, safety on.
Yep.
All right, okay. 1 shot. Annie Oakley today, okay?
1 shot.
Go. Right there.
There you go.
Here.
Take it. No.
If that's your first one, you got to hold it. Big lead.
Go get it.
Way to go, bud.
Hold it up. Show the camera.
It's just so fun to watch. Boys, I remember as a kid, my dad taking me and just the experiences and stuff, and now I get to live it with my boys.
Give me some. Guess what? Your first only comes once.
Yep.
And that's it right there.
Seeing them mature and seeing them grow like that, it's a lot of fun.
Kill him. Go. Lead him.
We bring enough shells?
I don't know.
The kids are having a blast. They're hitting a few.
Pull up. Get him. Somebody shoot him.
And missing a few. But the smiles on their faces, priceless.
We got 2 coming in on the right, Taylor.
And my daughter is finally getting in a groove.
Cut him.
It's all about the kids, and if without fostering this core base, this grassroots base, boy, we're going to lose everything.
Think more girls, 12-year-old girls could do this?
Yeah.
How?
They should.
Why should they do it?
It's fun, and they need to get away from all the stuff that's back at their house, and they need to get outdoors.
I like it because kids are the first people to come out, and they actually get to hunt before all the adults do.
Good time. There's no reason that if you've got a way to take a kid out hunting that you shouldn't.
Well, not bad, guys. 3 young guns, an old hat, A first for you three. What'd you guys think? Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Friedale's kid always has fun, huh?
Yeah.
You
don't have fun.
You have, like Doug Miller used to say, mud in your blood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, coming up on KSL Outdoors, a forecast to this year's waterfowl season for the big guns. That story in a moment, but first, tonight's KSL Outdoors quiz.
Desert Lake and Clear Lake, which are two isolated wetlands, have great water. They've not had that in years past, and so from a water standpoint, and even from a marsh standpoint, the marshes along the Great Salt Lake look really, really good, and also the marshes around Utah Lake look very, very good due to the high water from the spring runoff.
And what that does is it just gives those ducks a real good food storage, for their fall migration, being that this is the largest staging area in the Pacific Flyway.
There is a ton of area for the ducks to stay out on the lake and loaf, and we should just be holding more birds throughout the season this year.
Adam Eakle is brought to you by your local Ford stores.
Welcome to KSL Outdoors and welcome to the Great Salt Lake Marsh. I'm Adam Eakle. You know, waterfowlers are experiencing some of the best hunting here in Utah in maybe 60 years, especially for duck hunters. Record numbers of ducks out in the marsh. Tonight, we hope to show you some good duck hunting and some swan hunting, as we've got a couple of friends that have drawn some of those great tags.
We have an estimated 46 million ducks in the flyways this year. It's been the best it's been since 1955.
This year's breeding duck population in southern Alberta, which is extremely important to Utahns, as we were in the Pacific Flyway, was up 66% from last year. Several species posted significant increases. Pintails are up 170%. Green-winged teal, 112. The forecast looked good before the season, and after a slow start in Utah, things have picked up considerably.
About mid-October, we got a lot of birds in. Hunters started doing pretty good. The air boaters have had an incredible year. With the lake coming up over 4 feet last year, a lot of birds are staying out on the lake.
All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
Let's do it.
We're hunting with Fried Feathers Outfitters, waterfowl guides here in Utah, but today it's not a client Rob's taken out, but friend Brandon Nilsson and his daughter Caitlin for the mid-morning flight.
If you take your kids hunting, you don't have to hunt for your kids, and I truly believe that, and I think that our kids are really, any kid that gets hooked on and established in the hunting, you just have, they have a basis for what they want to do, and a lot of the good morals, characters that we teach out in the field, they carry through the rest of their lives, and so, I mean, we're pretty fortunate to be able to take a lot of them out.
And bring your gun up, and just like that. Okay?
Got it.
Got it? Perfect.
Rob and Chad have the kids hunting out of coffin and neoprene layout blinds to keep them dry. And to give our spread numbers, they've included a few hundred silhouettes, which Chad says are ideal for luring in teal and puddle ducks. The rest is up to the kids.
Right in front. Get ready. Take it. Good shot. Kelton, she's claiming that one.
11-year-old Caitlin is on just her second hunt, but this young lady has already found the love of the mud.
Most girls are at home playing with Barbie dolls that are 11.
Yeah.
Not you.
Nope.
The whistling of wings is quite a sight, and Kelton and Caitlin are putting on quite a show.
Get ready, get ready.
Kill him.
I like watching them fall down.
Take them. 1, 2, 3.
I killed one.
Good job, good job.
Back. Look at that.
We're ducks now.
You guys are spoiled rotten.
With the fall forecast, you know, they were really talking pintail numbers up, and boy, have we ever seen it along the Great Salt Lake. Really pay attention to the birds out there and shoot your 2 pintails and be careful after that.
The biggest thing about having success is get out and scout before you go. You can't expect to shoot birds in the same spot that you've been shooting since you were 8. You know, the water conditions have changed. You've got to get out there and get away from a little bit of the pressure. Anytime that you've got a wind, definitely take advantage of it, because the birds that get here stagnant are sitting on the sheet water, they're sitting on the resting areas. As soon as they get a little bit of wind, it makes them want to move and look for a different place to set.
Take them, Kate. Nice. Nice.
Well, we're just past the midway point of the duck season. Still plenty of time to get out there and bring the kids out. I think in 3.5 hours, these kids almost shot a limit all by themselves. Hey, we're going to pack up here real quick and head off and go hunt some swans in a moment. But first, tonight's quiz question. Welcome back to KSL Outdoors. I'm Adam Eakle. Hey, in a moment, as we try to improve our blinds, we'll have more here hunting from the marsh. But first, let's answer tonight's quiz question. And our question tonight is, what do you call a group of swans, and what is an adult male and an adult female swan called? And here's the answer. A group of swans is often called a bevy or a wedge while they're in flight. An adult male is called a cob, and an adult female swan is called a pen.
Utah only issues 2,000 swan permits. There are around 4,500 people that put in for a permit, and if you don't draw, you get a preference point. So the following year, you've got preference over the guys that drew the year before.
Utah is one of 3 states in the Pacific Flyway that hold hunts for tundra swans. Tags are given through a drawing that is held every September. But before you can even apply for a swan tag, you must complete a one-time swan hunter orientation course. The DWR has hunters take the course to help them distinguish the difference between a tundra swan and the less abundant trumpeter swan.
We've checked 2 trumpeters out here at Farmington Bay already. Once 10 trumpeters have been checked, the season is automatically closed, so we don't ever want to reach that point.
Count yesterday, I think when they flew, was about 49,000 swans in the state. So we've got some birds here.
For tonight's hunt, Chad and Rob have 13-year-old Trent Hamblin in a Bonneville layout boat with his dad Joe by his side. They're surrounded by decoys in the middle of the unit.
Okay, we've got a flock coming in from this way, right off to their side here.
Hunting swans can literally take your breath away. Hearing and then catching sight of a wedge of swans, then having to wait for these huge birds to come close enough for a good shot is one of the most thrilling experiences you'll ever have in the marsh. But tonight, we're just not on the X. Only a few birds even give us a look.
I love the wind. Utah weather, right? Wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
2 days later found us on a different unit in totally different conditions. This time, all the kids are hunting together in coffins just off a dike. The wind is so strong, it's tough keeping the decoys in position. But eventually, the swans start to move. It's going to be one of those days in the marsh to remember.
Okay, here he comes, Darren. Keep your head down. Okay, there's 3 of them, guys. That one in the front's a big white one. They're going to cup in. Get ready to cut them. Take them. Take them. Take them.
Nice shot. Nice job. Who was that?
Good job, Trent. Get down.
Trent doesn't even have time to grab his bird as more are coming in.
Kill him. Take him. Take him. Woo! Nice shot, Kelton.
Nice job. All right, buddy. Good job, Trent. Thanks. Attaboy.
2 tags down, 2 more to fill. Young Darren is up next.
Okay, here he comes, Darren. Okay, get ready to take that single, Darren. Kill that single, Darren. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Nice.
If you'd like to try a swan hunt but don't have the gear or the knowledge, apply next year, and then if you draw, give Chad and Rob a call. They'd love to share this experience.
We want to shoot decoying birds. Like you saw tonight, we shot all of our birds over the decoys. They are either feet down, wings cupped. That's what we want to do, and we want to get the message out that people on the dikes, we're not saying don't go out and shoot on the dike by any means. What we're saying is, if you go out, just take a good, clean shot. Make sure you're not shooting, above 40 yards, especially at these big birds. They're tough, and just be ethical. Go out and take good shots on them.
Yeah. Trying to get kids involved in the sport. We love taking a lot of first-time hunters, guys that just don't have the equipment like we do. I mean, we've got thousands of dollars wrapped up into this, and guys that can't afford to do it, we'd love to take you out.
Ah, that's good.
Well, not bad. 3 boys, 3 birds, all in about an hour as the sun's setting here. It's a beautiful night. If you want to do this, you know, just check in September of next year when you can put in for the application. Once you do draw out, you can go ahead and give the guys a call and maybe get out here and bag some birds as well. Hey, let's head back to Salt Lake to the guys at Fish Tech for tonight's fishing.